Hello and welcome to Bridge3Tv. I'm your host, Bridge3. Here on Chopping It Up, we like to engage with our guests about current, old, and pressing issues that we all face. I'd like to give a shout out to my family at BCU. With that being said, please comment, like, and share. And now let's start chopping it up.
It was a nightmare.
Yo. What's going on, YouTube? This is Bridge3Tv running at you right now. I got my family with me. We got Straight Smoke. And once again, we got Marley Moore up here. We got a few hot topics that we want to talk about. Hopefully we'll be able to engage with the guests, the comments. And so what's going on with you, Straight Smoke? How's it going?
Man, as always, giving the best and loving the rest.
I feel that. What's going on, Marley Moore? I see you a little busy back going on today.
Man, I got 100,000 things going on over here, man. We're building and working, you know what I'm saying? Entertaining the kids. A little bit of...
Yep, I understand that family life, man. It's a beautiful thing.
Yep. So, I got a little bit. In the first, they gonna get out of the garage here in a second. They carring it up right now. They riding out. The little ones, you know how they do.
Right. I done been there, done that. And
still doing it
today. And so here at Bridge3Tv, man, we got a few topics that we're gonna talk about. And it's funny, we heard with Marlon, you can hear his kids in the background because parenting in 2023 is one of the topics that we want to talk about. The number one thing going on in the world is parenting. Everybody has kids. If you don't have kids, then you got siblings that do have kids. But what you got to say, Straight Smoke?
You're absolutely correct.
How many kids you got?
I'm sitting on 5-piece.
Five kids. See, I only got 2.
5-piece. And counting.
Hey, I got 3 in the house, 1 grown, and 3 grandkids. So you know what I'm saying? That's how I'm doing my thing around here.
Right. So we got this topic, parenting. What did you want to talk about with parenting, Straight Smoke?
Well, it's just the constant thing that's been prevalent among all of us. It's and a lot of people might get upset with me about it, but it's it's my truth. It's what I believe. Is that holding on to old-fashioned ways that was negative to the growth of most of our families, because everyone that has kids will not be like the old people that we know.
And so the old ways that you was talking about, I kind of like. Well, it depends on the old ways that you're talking about, because there's still old ways of parenting that I like that still need to be happening today that I don't see. I grew up with I'm gonna tell you daddy, and so that fear with I'm gonna tell you daddy, really meant something to me growing up. And so I guess they do say there's a lot of, less fathers out there today now, that's not stepping up to the plate, because that fear right there alone is what kind of kept me, on the line. I may have stirred off a little bit. I may have, veered off the path a little bit, but, I stayed close to it and made sure that, I didn't have no trouble with my dad.
And I understand that wholeheartedly. I was raised the same way. I will concur with that too. You know, I mean, everyone makes a mistake, you know, as nobody's perfect. But what I'm saying and what I'm driving at is that I'm not saying all things that we were taught is wrong. But what I'm saying, there are certain things that we fundamentally know that was wrong. And I believe that it's up to that individual to recognize those things that's wrong and just not reciprocate those to their kids.
And so with that being said, you know, we learn as we go. You know, I have two kids. I've got a 27-year-old and a 10-year-old. You know, the things that I know now, everybody wish they knew before. You know, you always hear that saying, I wish I knew what I know now. You know, but you know, I'm doing the best I can, and I'm trying to show them that the life that you want to live it is within your grasp. You can reach out and get it, you know, but there is sacrifices that you have to make. You know, you gotta understand, you know, what your wants and needs are. You know,
Well,
you
there's
need
only one sacrifice.
Huh?
There's only one true sacrifice.
And what's that?
Time.
Time. That's it.
That's it. Because you'll never get that back.
No.
That's the one thing that you will always sacrifice is your time. Because you will never
always.
get that back.
As a parent, you'll never get it back. But some people don't sacrifice their time. Some people just sacrifice, just like they're gonna just be out here just doing whatever and think that the kids are gonna take care of themselves. And that's the problem that we're dealing with right now. Is kids taking care of themselves.
Exactly. Which was all began for certain reasons. That's why you seen a early booming of young men and women having kids at a very young age that did not understand how life actually works.
And I can contest it that was me. Young father, 15 years old, didn't understand life. But the thing that helped me though was I had my father and my grandfather in my life. So they kind of helped, you know what I'm saying, help me out there. You know what I'm saying? A lot of my friends didn't even have a father, let alone a grandfather. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of what kind of kept me up. I mean, I ain't saying I ain't had that I wasn't crazy as hell, because I had from probably my ninth grade year to my probably sophomore year of college, I was kind of out there a little bit doing some wild, crazy stuff. But, you know, as far as, you know, some of the stuff that some of my friends was doing, you know, it kind of kept me grounded. I was able just to have one kid up until I was 28, till I was 30 years old. Some of my friends had 3 and 4 kids before they was 30. So, you know, it's just kind of how the ball rolled for me.
Yep. And see, me, I had a kid at 15, at a very young age.
That.
And so that right there is what made me grow up so fast. You know, I was living that type of life at way too young. But now that I look at it, you know, I believe it was what's best for me. You know, everything is already written. You know, I was just following that path. But it took me 18 years to have another kid. And I'm waiting on my son now, but he ain't here yet.
I heard that. Well, me personally, I didn't start having kids until I was 30. I enjoyed every bit of my 20s. And when I was 30, well, I'm not going to say when I was 30, when I was 27, that's when I met my wife. And I knew she was my wife. You know, you got to get older to understand the nature of a lot of things, you know, but certain people will rush the process, and, you know, that's to the individual's own. I have no qualms with that. But I'm just looking at it from an aspect of, if you actually have time, you will appreciate time. Because now it'll be time with your kids. It'll be time with your wife. It'll be time for everyone to have time for the people that they love. Take time out, and what they say, take time out and smell the roses, I should say.
Yeah. And so, you know, and that's it. We don't have time for really nobody nowadays. You know, I love my family. I try to see my family as much as I can, but it's all about time. You know, when they got time, I don't have time. When I got time, they don't have time. You know, when we do see each other, it's what? It's at some type of service. And 9 times out of 10, it's not a good service. But that's when we find time to meet each other. And that's one thing I don't like.
And my whole thing with that is that why don't we start small? You know, why do we have to always have, if you notice, every kind of family event or something has to be somewhere where it's easier for certain people but harder for others. So that's putting you, or how I feel, that puts you in a position to say, well, I got a big family. It's just two of you. Why y'all can't come this way? You know, so I don't understand the whole dynamics of having to make time for the people you say you love, because if you love them, the time has already been predicated.
Yep, I hear you on that. You know, but certain events, you know, I guess it's seasonal. You know, they travel around and they've been there, done that, and so they trying to experience new things, and then that's where things get difficult, I guess.
Well,
But
you
with
know, we got to
parenting,
always be understanding.
yeah, and so
Because
I guess that's getting ready to be it about parenting. You know, I don't think we got anybody in the chat, you know, so this is just going to be something that people going to see later on. You know, so the next thing that we're going to talk about is this food situation that we got going on, this commercialized meat and produce, you know, because people really don't understand the food that you eat coming from most places is not healthy. It's not good for you. I do eat meat, but I've not ate beef and pork in over 10 years. And so my days of coming vegan may come because I'm finding alternative ways to make stuff. But I still eat chicken. I love lamb and deer meat. And so them my three things that I can always have. I got a little garden in the back now. And so growing your own food is becoming a hobby now. And that's something that everybody should do. You know, if not, your community should have something that everybody pitch in on or tries to grow together. Because the days of the grocery store, I do believe, is going to come to an end one day. But you know, they're going to fight for that. They don't want you growing your own food. What you say?
you're absolutely right. My whole thing is that, like with any commercialized meat and produce, if you ever look at the numbers that's on the products that you buy, those numbers is for a reason, because that's a lot number. That's where that produce came from. It's a lot number. If you look at the actual barcode, it says the lot number. So they have already tracked and traced what, that's how they can do recalls on certain stuff. Don't you remember that bag lettuce that got recalled a bunch of times?
Yeah.
Because of salmonella. Remember that?
Yeah.
That was a lot number. That was a lot number that got stored in a tractor trailer, and the cooler went out, and they still delivered it to the store to where people can actually eat that from, or purchase it, I should say.
Right.
Same thing goes for meat. Do you think that machines do not break down? So if that produce is coming in hot, that's why you see some stores excuse me, will have wilted products. Look at that. Wilted products. The vegetables are wilted, or they're the you. I don't know if you ever seen like a bag of potatoes and you notice one of them has mold. You have to look through what you're doing. You have to really pay attention, you know, with produce, because if you don't recognize the number system that they're putting on there, you won't know which batch you're getting.
Exactly. You know, because those numbers, I don't get nothing below a 4. If I go to certain places, I get 8s and 9s, you know, as the number that I go when I'm looking for produce. And a lot of people don't understand what that number system is.
Nope.
If you ask somebody at the store working what that number is, they tell you it's just some type of, you know, order number where they just tell them where they place them at.
They have no clue. That's why they need people just good enough to do what they're told. That's it. Like if you take commercialized meat, okay, ground beef does not stick to your hands. Real ground beef don't stick to your hands. It just doesn't.
I haven't ate ground beef in so long. I don't know if it's stuck to my hand or not. You know,
so I'll say this. I will say this. Even with chicken, fish, turkey, any of these things, any of these products that you're getting, there has a shelf life conditioning already in it. If you turn on the back of the product, it tells you that it has a preservative in it that holds the shelf life. It says it right on it.
Right.
You must clean that meat first before you can even store it. Because if you store it, that means it saturates into the meat that you're eating.
Right. And so what do you use to clean it with?
You can use pretty much white distilled vinegar. You can also use, I choose optionally just myself, apple cider vinegar. It's a little stronger vinegar, and the rest time is a lot easier.
Apple cider vinegar. And so, because I rinse my chicken out, I mean, I always, you know, wash it off with water, and, you know, quite a few times, you know, before I even try to cook it. You know, and so you saying you set it in the bowl of apple cider vinegar for how long?
I would say like 3 to 5 minutes. Pull it out of that, and then rinse it off with cool water. You'll see the science project once you do it.
Yeah.
You'll see the science project. Have you ever put any kind of fruit and baking soda in water? That's what cleans fruit. That's what cleans vegetables.
Yeah, so I'm gonna start doing that. I actually got some today because I was thinking about it when you was talking about it yesterday.
I can't make this stuff up, man. It's just you got to understand, it's still a dirty crop. Produce or meat is still a dirty crop. You're getting it raw. Supposedly you're getting it raw, but it's been shipped. So it has to be induced with something to keep the shelf life for shipping.
Right.
It has to be that way.
Man. I had a job where they stored, you know, food at meat, frozen food. They stored frozen food, I guess. Well, I mean, that's what they did. And so that process right there, when it's getting shipped to them, getting taken off of a truck, getting put into freezers, that process right there really makes you not want to eat meat. And that's what I don't understand.
No. I'm not going to go that far. All I can say is this. That's the handling process from your distributor. That's on you. They know how they get it. Now, if you want to ask me, you should be able to sue these people for giving you faulty product.
You know what? And that's the only way you can is when you get sick.
Exactly. Because if people knew the signs to look out for, I'm sorry.
Said you got to damn near die before you can sue somebody.
Think about it. I mean, look at all these restaurants that get hit with what do they call that?
Yeah.
You know, food poisoning.
Yeah.
Straight up. Think about that. I mean, crazy. if you honestly think about it, in all actuality, if a said restaurant is running, let's say, a sandwich, a burger or something like that for $7-8, and then within a month and a half, they're running a 2 for $5 special, doesn't that put off alarm that they just gave you old meat?
Man, it is. And then, you know, some people say that, you know, you got to check the labels because you can see a double label on there. And if they do the double label, they extended the date.
They extended the date. So in other words, they still gonna get their money at your expense.
At your expense.
At your health expense.
Right.
Your health.
They taking a gamble.
They know you ain't gonna sue them.
Right.
They ain't taking no gamble. They didn't force you to buy that. That's just negligence on their part, and I'm sorry for the lack of better wording, but ignorance on yours. For you understand, how do you get 30 chicken nuggets for $1? How much is chicken right now?
I just got some wings, and so I paid what? I don't know. I think it was like $10 for, you know, 3 pounds. I don't know.
But you can get 30 chicken nuggets for $1. Or you can get that chicken sandwich for $5 or something like that.
Now see that I don't eat fast food. I couldn't tell you the last time I had a chicken nugget from someplace.
Well, you understand what I mean.
Yeah. And that is crazy because that's fake food.
That's fake food.
That's fake food.
That's literally fake food. And people are okay with this. And it's because they got brainwashed so long about it.
Right. But and you can't change nobody's mind. You know, it's hard to change somebody's mind. I guess for me, it was more health reason wise. You know, just by me giving up fast food, I lost what, 50 pounds. And so, you know, man, it's just ridiculous what people can't see.
It's not ridiculous. It's just, I'm sorry, it's information. Most people don't have this information or knowledge to be able to say and make that critical, rational. It's not even critical. It's a rational decision not to eat fake food.
Yeah, and that is it. That is it. You know, they might not know. You know, the information is the key. That information is what rules the world. And so lack of information is holding people back.
It's digressing their whole family structure. It's not the person, it's the family that person is around. Because if think of it like a machine, if one cog in a machine is disruptive, the machine fails. So if everybody is thinking one way, they think that is right, and it's been the wrong way all along.
Right.
Because you just can't go to the store, buy something and throw it in your refrigerator. It's saturating in their product to keep the shelf life to make that product stand. Bottom line. Until it hits your refrigerator, and then it goes bad in 2 days.
Right.
Straight up.
Man. Yeah, man. And so, and then you also got to watch the stores that you shop at. You know, like living in the city I'm in, you know, there's multiple grocery stores, but I don't do, I guess I don't know, certain big name brand stores I don't go to, you know, but then I'll try to go to one that's in a middle class neighborhood, I guess. But then again, it's still hard to get stuff there. I guess I shop around because I like different fruits. And so I'm going to find my fruits at different stores, you know, because not everybody eat the type of fruit that I like or eat as much fruit as I eat. Because within the past 6 months, you know, that's what I've changed my whole diet into is mainly fruit. There's a study or something that I saw anyway, man, that me and you was talking about before was how come a gorilla only eats 98% or 98% of his diet is fruit, and all the muscles he got just from eating fruit. He don't eat no meat. He don't need none of that protein coming from a meat. All his protein is coming from fruit. And I believe if I cut out meat and induce more fruit, I'd have just as much protein, intake. I believe so. That would nuts.
Okay, so like with that statement there, all I can say is that they do eat and have a different digestive system than you. You may be a mammal, but you're not related to all mammals, if that makes sense.
Right.
Okay. So the enzymes and everything in the human stomach is designed to eat certain things because that's what they are on Earth, food. Me personally, I've taken it back to where I'm eating a lot of vegetables. I'm not a fruit guy. I mean, I'll knock down a watermelon or a cantaloupe or something like that, some pineapple. But you understand where I'm going in the class of fruit that I'm eating, a pomegranate. Right. But I'm mainly vegetable, and I do like my meat. I do like my meat. A lot of when I was younger, I used to slunk.
You used to what?
Slunk.
Slunk. What is that?
Drinking raw eggs.
Oh.
It's called slunking.
Oh, okay.
Drinking raw eggs. As
I
high
know
as I
people
got
do
was
that.
like 10 in one sitting.
And just drink the egg.
Yeah, drink. That's the ultimate source of protein. Ultimate source of protein. If you don't eat beef, you at least I know you eat eggs.
Yeah.
If you don't eat eggs, if you do eat eggs and you don't want to, drinking the eggs itself is the best way to consume an egg. Guaranteed.
Yeah, I know people that worked out in the gym and stuff that used to do that back in the day.
Yeah. I was one of those guys. I had to at least have like 6 to 8 eggs in the morning. Lunchtime, I had steak and potato. And at night, I had like carrot sticks and fish, celery, carrots, and fish.
Right.
If I wasn't eating a steak, you're absolutely correct. I was eating a lamb. I love my beef ribs, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I love beef ribs. I love beef ribs. You know, you know. But
see,
yeah, that's.
I don't. I used to think I would miss pork and beef like ribs, rib tips, but I get it. I guess a rack of lamb is small, but that right there do the job. I like getting lamb chops. Those right there is what replaced for me. Eating steak or T-bone steaks. I can do that right there. Getting a deer shoulder. If when I had a deer shoulder, I cooked that in the oven, and that was like my Boston butt. It wasn't the same, but I cooked it the same way, and it was actually pretty good. But then I put it on the grill for an extra 30 minutes, and man, it was nice. But I can eat other stuff besides beef and pork. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but I guess that what they say is more leaner. But you know what? At the end of the day, it's all about consumption.
Yeah.
Back then, I was eating, I guess, the whole plate. I would finish my plate. Now I only eat half my plate. So balance on whatever you eat is gonna, be beneficial for you. I say I gave up all this and that, to help with my diet and stuff, but it's all still breaks down to balance. Balance on the portions that you do eat.
And that's what I concur with that. A lot of people don't understand like portions. don't you remember at one point in time they was trying to show people portions? That's why they had like Hungry Man meals, and they came out with the diet programs that you seen on TV, because they figured out portions for people to eat. Okay. Right. So once you understand that, like you said, the balance of portions of the food that you eat, it becomes a lot more good for you, because your body is able to break it down according to how your body breaks it down. I mean, because everyone is different, you know, everyone is different. We all have our whatevers about the things that we like to eat, and the things that we indulge ourselves in. That's fine, but do it in moderation. Have control, self-control over what do you want to call it? Vices that you believe that, oh, I think I'm gonna sit down and eat a whole $5 bag of chips. It's not a good idea for you. You know, replace those chips with celery sticks or carrot sticks, or maybe even some fruit, like you say. You know, I'm just going off of what I do in my home front, you know, as far as my family.
Right. You know, and so I guess that is where they, you know, I don't want to say, you know, kind of trick people, you know, with the fast food. The fast food came because now everybody's working and don't have time to make a full course meal at home because they always working, you know, and so it's easy to go and grab something right there as you on your way home, you know, or you know, go out to lunch and get that. It's quick and easy to do that. You know, what I love about my daughter, you know, her and her husband and 2 kids, you know, she does prep, you know, their meals. You know, she will prep her meal, you know, for the entire week. You know, that way she ain't got to go get fast foods. You know, she's already did that, but that is still considered a sacrifice that she had to do of her time to get that preparation, you know, set up that weekend for the whole week. You know, so
and that's the whole thing. Time. We talked about that in the first segment, you know, time, the one thing that we can't get back. So if you invest your time in the righteous things that you're supposed to do, namely what you say you care about is your family and kids, and the structure and the understanding and mentality of your kids, it all starts with diet, because the diet is what controls the brain. Your stomach will tell you when it's time to eat. Your brain don't tell you when it's time to eat. Your stomach does.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Just because you think about, oh, I want a bag of M&Ms, it's not a good look. You're going to hurt yourself in some kind of way, because you don't understand the products that you're eating out the gate has already been chemically designed by, that's right, chemists, not by anybody else. All your products have been designed by chemists. All like soda pops or sodas or whatever, you know, about any kind of those kind of beverages that you drink. If you didn't know, back in 1993, it was brought to the attention that chemists used to acquire taste for certain foods, even powdered foods that you apply to food, like as imposter or anything, they were using fetal cell tissues to make that happen.
Really?
Yes, sir.
And so, you know, it's funny you say that, because, you know, they say that they use, I don't know, you know, if you can say it on YouTube, but I guess that's why they want to stop abortions, because they said that the abortions, the fetals, or some part of the abortion that was happening, they used that to make, you know, skin cream to make people younger.
Yes, sir. All makeup has aborted fetal cells in it. All makeup. All
and
makeup.
So that right there is something that, you know, they definitely don't talk about. If they do talk about it, you know, what?
Don't you remember this one? Hey, don't you remember this? What was that lip balm called that everybody was using in the 90s?
I don't know.
Sure you do. Came in the yellow too with a red top to it.
Right. Something Max.
Yeah. Guess what? Don't you remember the rumor? It was made out of sperm whale from sperm. Oh, sperm. I can't make this stuff up, man.
Right.
I can't make this stuff up. It was made from whale sperm. They said that. They actually put it out there like that. You got to start taking what you see at face value, my dude.
I don't think it was on the ingredients though. When you look at the back of it.
I mean, don't you remember? They said Red Bull had what in it?
Sperm.
Taurine. Say it again, my dude. Exactly. What did Red Bull say they had? Right. Why wouldn't you take these people at face value? Hey, don't you remember when KFC came out and said, we're going to have plant-based chicken. You won't know the difference.
Right. Right.
Nobody remember that commercial, huh?
I remember that commercial, but when did they say that it started? Who
said they ain't already started it?
That's what I'm saying. They never
right.
gave a start date.
Straight up. Who said they ain't already started it? Giving people GMO chicken.
Man.
And then boom, they coming out with awesome chicken sandwiches. I ain't see that black lady up there supporting none of that. Nothing. Where's she at? Where's she at? From Popeyes. Old girl from Popeyes. I ain't see her do nothing about nothing. Where's she at? Was that affirmative action? What's going on?
Right. Yeah.
Straight up. Think about what I'm saying. I'm not saying these things for no reason, bro. But I kid you not, the meat and produce system, at very best, you should be growing your own products.
I totally agree,
at the very best. Grow the products that you know you're gonna eat. You know, just grow the products that you Bridge, you know it's gonna be a lot easier come your second year or third year or fourth year or fifth year doing that.
Right.
You know that. That's what I'm saying, my dude.
We're gonna have this greenhouse though. I'm gonna have this greenhouse set up in October. At the end of October, I'm gonna have this greenhouse set up. And I already got some what?
I already got plants I already want you to have.
Man.
I got plants that I already want you to have because it's why not? You know what I'm saying? These third generational plants. Why not?
And so
we 38 minutes in.
38 minutes. We had a couple people come in and then they backed out. But hey, okay. You know, we gonna continue doing this, you know, because they're chopping it up, you know, we gonna eventually build a crowd. And the topics that we talk about is what's actually going on in real life, you know, because everybody's talking about the fire that happened, you know, in Hawaii. That is still going on because it's 21, 22 days that it didn't happen. And, you know, they still ain't found the reason on how it happened. And so it's crazy. And then they saying that it's a land grab. They saying people set this up, you know, to where they said today that I heard that they send some type of state of emergency three weeks prior to the fire. 3 weeks before the fire, they had already signed some type of state of emergency. And so that way, whenever the fire did happen, only 2 or 3 people are in control of running stuff. Because just like if we were in some type of state of emergency, our counties or what is it, the councilmen and stuff, they lose their power. you know, they can't, their vote don't count or whatever at that moment. Have you heard anything about about that?
I can show you something that I don't think that you will believe.
What's that? Let's see it. You can share your screen.
I'm about to share you something. Yeah, okay, thank you. Because I really want you to see this. It's no audio to it, it's just what it is. Can you see that there?
Yeah.
A book describing the Maui fires was published before they started.
Yeah, you was cutting out. I didn't hear you.
Fire and Fury. Fire and Fury. A book describing the Maui fires was published before they started. Fire and Fury. There it is.
And so you saying that this book came out and then someone set the fire according to what the book said?
I'm trying to tell you this book was out before the fires happened. Hands down.
Yep, and so it's crazy, man. I want to play something. I want to play something crazy. From man, have you seen it? Have you seen any of the clips of when the ex-president rode through Atlanta? You know, I guess there was a skit said, you know, President Trump is rode through the hood in Atlanta, you know, and there was a bunch of people with their cameras, you know, recording him, you know, in his you know, motorcade, you know, because he was deep. He was deep, you know, traveling through Atlanta on his way to court. And that was crazy.
You sure you want to do that?
Do what?
Roll with anything on some presidential stuff.
Oh no, I'm not gonna roll that. This dude was talking about what was going on in Maui.
So I'm gonna play it from what I've seen. Yeah, run it.
Yeah, this is from a dude that I follow on YouTube. This is DJ Cuddy. DJ Cuddy, I'll give him a shout out. You know, hope it's all right. I play this little skit, man. I got this from you today, this morning. And so, but it's crazy. And I gotta run to take a little break real quick. I'll be right back.
All right. Did you start the clip? So with that being said, once Bridge come back, we'll roll that clip. And as it stands, I really want people to know about commercialized meat and produce. Please, for the love of God, clean any products you get from the grocery store. They have a shelf life thing on them to where you are responsible for it when it leaves their shelves. You have to do that. If you don't, you're just giving and reciprocating anything that's on that product to your family. Please understand that. If you're not up to speed, I don't know if you know about PFAs. Please start filtrating your water that comes out your tap. That's something else that you really need to do. Your tap water and the water that you cook with is very, 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 and you need water, but it needs to be filtered. I've seen EPA studies to show the PFAs and the glyphosates and also chlorine in the water throughout all 50 states. And I really think that you all need to understand that at this day and age, there's no more drinking from the water hose. You have to start cultivating and doing your own thing. You have to start at home. It all begins with you. How you see everything going for your family will be the way that your family goes from your ideology. At least let them know how to do everything.
Hey, what's up, man? My bad, man. I had to run use the restroom real quick. I thought I hit play on this, but it didn't go through, man.
It's all
So,
good. What's understood ain't got to be explained.
Man, but I had to go. Was it? But you started talking, so you probably couldn't even hear the sound of nothing, huh?
Nothing played on your end, so I just filled in and gave us a real message.
A real message. I appreciate that, man. I really do. I appreciate that. This is what I was trying to play.
And this is what I
Grand
was
Rising,
trying to
low
report
leader.
to you
I
all
see you,
the other
sis. You
day,
did.
that now they're claiming that
you.
the water supply.
This is from my dude man on YouTube that I'll be chatting with. This is DJ Cuddy. I like to give him a shout out, man. Is what I said a while ago, but it didn't play. But yeah, he brought me this news this morning, man, and it's very interesting about the thing going on in Hawaii.
Yes, it is.
And no one can drink the water. They're saying that, even if you boil it, it's still dangerous. You could not drink the water. So everyone is having to rely on
they
the
trying to
government's
murk people. They're trying to
the
murk
water that they're bringing to these people, from what is being said, allegedly, it's making people really sick. And that doesn't surprise me at all. And it's just yet another coincidence. It's just a little coinky dink that's adding up. We have what? 25 coinky dinks, involved in this fire now. All of these coincidences, the water is shut off. Now the water's poisoned. We're not going to sound the alarm. Now the water we're giving you is poisoned. It's obvious. It's so obvious. And every day, I got to say at this point, every day I wake up and I ask I ask the higher powers in the universe, whoever you want that higher power to be, I ask them, why? Why did you choose to surround me with so many dumbasses? People who cannot see what is literally happening right in our faces every day. I thank the heavens every day that I have this little community that I'm building on YouTube with you all.
And see, this is what I'm talking about, man. I like to build a little community also, is what I'm trying to do. Because information that we learn from YouTube that they not doing on the regular news is killing us. They say what, 4 or 5 people own all the networks, and so that's why we only get what they want to give us.
And you're absolutely correct. And even in the clip that you're playing, he's just giving you a portion of what he heard. And we always have to take everything with a grain of salt until we get actual proof about things, okay? Now, I do know about people that's on the ground in Maui now, You can look up Fish. You can look up Nick Sotoro. You can also look up well, I'll leave it at those two. If you look up Fish from Maui, you'll see it all. You look up Nick Santoro, you'll see how he questioned the actual government there about the missing kids. There's over, I want to say, at least 12 to 1,500 missing kids in Maui right now. 1,000. It was a 3,000 school 3,000 kid school district, and 1,000 of them has been reported. Now we're still missing between the numbers of those, and that's proven. So we're looking at something. I can show you. I wish I had clips queued up to where they were pulling blue shirts out of burned up cars. Burned, I mean, completely decimated cars, but they pulled a blue shirt out of it, that a blue cotton shirt that was not burnt. And this is where it's coming into play, where everyone is talking about dues. If you don't know what a dew is, it's a direct energy weapon. They can only see in certain colors. It's a laser beam. It actually is in play. This is, you know, from what I've seen, this is the second time they've done this, because they did this in the California wildfires as well, where you had trees not burnt, but cars melted to the pavement. And even the pavement itself was tarnished, but the trees and the grass was not. So you can look at all the information that's being pushed out. It's the reason that they put up a black tarp or a wall around the entire sector of what burnt. And while you cannot take soil samples from that sector that burnt. So a lot of things is in play with that. And all I can say is that they're showing you the capability of what they can do. So don't take that in stride and just think that, oh, well, that just spontaneously happened. No, ladies and gentlemen, this was the second time, if not the third time it happened. The Canada fires that flooded New York with all that smoke, that was caused by arsonists. The same fires that started in Greece put out that they captured, and 79 arsonists, climate arsonists, setting fires in Greece. So don't think that this is beyond the pale, because what you're seeing is these are climate people saying that climate, man-made climate change is real. These are people who are creating man-made climate change. These are the same people that are spraying the skies every day to where it looks like a tic-tac-toe board, and they think that you know none the wiser. This is what you're seeing, because that's what affects all living beings on the planet.
Right. We got somebody in the chat. He said, don't say that T word.
What's the T word? Oh, yeah. No. I'm good. I'm good.
I'm good. I know what it is.
Yeah, I know what it is now. No, I know what that is now. No, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah. Hey, let me play him a little bit more, because he said something earlier I didn't hear him say now. I wanted you to hear.
All right.
And I see that I'm not alone on Earth. I see that there's still people out there with common sense who can see through this nonsense, who realize that, you know, there's something really, really crazy going on in the world right now. For the last few years, even longer if you want to be technical, things have gotten really crazy. Now, of course, these plans have been in the works for a long time. And I'm not here to deny that.
So I'm gonna say fair use.
But we've reached a point where it's undeniable.
But he's just
back in the day, crazy things would happen. JFK gets shot. You're like, oh, it's the CIA, but I don't really know. You know what I mean? Like, you had your weird things popping off. Trust me, this has been a slow burn. We didn't get to this point overnight, but we're now in the day and age where they're not really trying to hide things anymore. And even when they do, we have the access of the internet and all of this technology. And if people are catching on, we're able to see through the BS. But unfortunately, a lot of people can't still. Even though it's right there in your face, a lot of people just cannot put the pieces together for some reason. And I feel so terrible for those people. But at the same time, I look at those people and I know that y'all are the reason why we have to deal with all of this nonsense and just go along with it. We just have to sit here and go along with all of these lies as if we don't know that they're all out to get us. We're basically all.
Did you hear what he said?
What did he say?
Did you hear what he said?
He said a lot. What did you hear?
That's my problem right there. He said, now we all have to sit back and go along with this. I'm not a part of the go along, get along gang. I ain't a part of that. I'm not a part of the go along, get along gang. Just because you want to do something stupid, I will not let it affect me. You will be dealt with in some kind of way. Because that's just sheer ignorance. There is no way I'm going to sit here and condone the things that I've been seeing out of the general public and say that it's cool. Oh yeah, I understand that. No, it's not. No, it's not. And you know it's not. That's you taking advantage of a situation for what? Play the clip.
Under attack right now on every single level. You are being attacked physically, emotionally, psychologically, on every level, folks. Every level you can think of. And then you see things like what's happening down in Lahaina. And I mean, it wasn't hard to start putting the pieces together. It really wasn't. And with all of the information that we have about what happened down there, I don't understand why people don't get it yet. How do you not get it? How do you hear about them blocking people from escaping, turning the water off, and still not get it? And then here we are now, weeks after the fire, and it just so happens that everyone is reporting that the water that they're getting from the government is making them sick as well. It's so insane. But before I go too crazy on this.
And see, man, the same thing was happening with the train derailment that happened over in Ohio. You know, they always talking about everything is okay. They tested everything and it was good, but they don't know. They don't know.
This rant, let's go ahead and dive into this clip because I want you all to hear what these locals have to say. And then I'll be right back with more thoughts.
Family, because that's our family from Lahaina.
This is crazy, man. I just wanted to.
Yeah, but so I didn't hit too many buttons on her. So I'm gonna play a little bit more.
Everybody, I'm saying, man, this is crazy because it's the United States and it could be your.
It needs to be investigated by a third party that is not associated with the government. We don't.
Yeah, man. It's crazy how he was talking about how they said the water is making people sick, and the same thing happened here with that thing in Ohio.
All the train derailments that you've been seeing was all scheduled. Don't you remember the train that had 30 tons of explosive material just come up missing on a moving train?
Come on, missing?
Yes, sir.
No, I heard about
30
that.
tons of explosive material. Yeah, 30 tons of explosive material got lifted off a moving train, supposedly. And I can bring that right up. If you give me 2 seconds, I can bring that story right up.
Yeah, let's see that. Cause see, they probably blamed it on like a train derailment. You know,
No,
you know that's something that's
no,
crazy.
sir.
We got somebody in the chat that says, "Have you noticed how fast fruits and veggies go bad these days?" And so I've noticed that if you leave stuff out, I like leaving stuff out on the table because I like it warm. I don't like my fruit cold, but I do got to keep it in the refrigerator. But I got to let it sit outside for at least an hour or two before I bite into it. How do you feel about fruits and veggies going fast? Is that normal or what do you think? I believe it's the environment that you keep them in.
That's your cleaning process. Yeah, it's your cleaning process. Because if you clean them, they will last a lot longer versus you just buying them and you storing them. So if you don't put that fruit or vegetable in the same conditions that it was originally shipped in, it's going to go bad on you because you didn't clean it. You didn't get none of the pesticides off the vegetables or off the fruit or any of the ingredients made to keep the shelf life on your meat. That's why it goes bad quicker.
Someone also chatted blue beam.
So
is the blue beam the
Project Blue Beam has been in effect. No, Project Blue Beam is something different. That's when they're going to stage a fake alien invasion.
And so I did hear that. That's supposed to happen in December. That's supposed to come in December. And so
yeah, you gotta understand. Look at all the holographic images most of these cities have nowadays. Look at the new one that they put up in Nevada. Look at the one that they have over in China. See all these drone images that you've been seeing, and they've been calling them UFOs and all that. Those are drones. Those are bottom line drones. And those will cast an image big enough for you to believe on the face of the earth. Because all of my screen, it's a big ass telescreen.
It says
hold on.
Project
As a matter of fact, Project Bluebeam, this is gonna sound so crazy, but if you know what I know, if you think about what I'm saying, have you ever seen the cartoon movie Megamind?
Yeah.
Don't you remember at the end, he came out and walked off his tongue, and there was a whole bunch of drones holding him up.
Huh. I don't remember it like that.
That's what it was. It was a bunch of drones that created his face at the end of the movie where he was fighting the bad guy he created. When all of that shattered, it was a whole bunch of drones. All his drones was throughout the whole movie. That's Project Bluebeam, bro. Sounds crazy.
Is this what it's talking about? It says Project Bluebeam. Bluebeam is a conspiracy theory about a supposed project whose purpose is to create an artificial second coming in order to control people. As per the alleged theory, the new world orders propose is one, to abolish all Christian and traditional religions in order to replace them with one world religion based on a cult of men.
Yes. Yes.
That's Project Bluebeam?
Yes, it's the second coming of Christ.
Oh, and that's what AI is.
So you can actually see it. No, that is not what AI is. Did you hear what you said? One world government. Always remember that. One world government. So if you have a one world government, you have a one world currency, you have a one world religion, you have a one world everything. Everything.
Man,
they're not kidding about what they're talking about. You need to take these people at face value of what they're saying because they are for real. This is not a game at all. These people are for real. To you, to them, you're a detriment to them. You're a detriment to them. They feel like you are costing them money because you're breathing. These people are sick. But to show you what I was talking about, and there's nothing, I don't understand how people forget this stuff. I really don't. I really don't. There you go. There you go. 30 tons of explosive chemicals lost during rail shipment. 30 tons of explosive chemicals lost during rail shipment. Let's say this is the New York Times. When was this article posted? Huh? When was this article posted? May 21, 2023. There it is right there. It's the New York Times. How don't people understand what's going on? They're showing you they're capable of doing it. They're showing you it.
30 tons.
I can't make this stuff up. You can't go to Maui and get a soil sample because this stuff right here was in powder form, my dude.
In powder
So all you
form?
had to do was put that on the ground and throw a match. Powder form. You know what Terranite is, don't you?
Nah, what is that? Terranite.
Tannernite.
Tanner.
Yeah. You ever seen people blow up a refrigerator or something like that? Shoot a refrigerator and just blow up?
No.
They put Tannernite in it.
It's in a refrigerator, or
It's
they did
chemical.
that
You
to
can go
blow
get
it
it.
up.
Yeah, it's just fun. That's how some people view fun, blowing up a refrigerator or a stove or something like that. Because it's just boom. But that's explosive making material. This stuff right here that I got pulled up, this is way more than what you think. But I want you to understand the significance in this. 30 tons of explosive chemicals lost during rail shipment. How? This ain't a derailment. This is during shipping. The chemical ammonium nitrate. I mean, come on, man. Listen to this. The chemical ammonium nitrate is relatively harmless by itself, but has caused deadly explosions in industrial accidents and has been used in targeted attacks. That's their headline.
Right. And it's
Now, how many factories have you seen blow up?
Man, they said
30 tons.
They said a bunch of places in the United States have food processing places that have burned up.
We're over 120 right now.
Yeah, that's done burn up. And that's supposed to be why we had a food shortage at one time.
Because they burnt up the processing plants here in America. They killed them. They put them out of commission, decommission.
Yeah, I heard about
That's
that.
what the government do. They decommission somebody. What you say?
I said I heard about that. I want to say a couple years ago. But it came in and faded out, and don't nobody really want to talk about it.
That's because everyone's attention span is only focusing on what they think they should focus on, because there's unity and division. Okay? Have you ever heard the term "never let a good crisis go to waste"?
No.
because that's what these people do. They do not let a good crisis go to waste. It's just that simple. So everything that they're showing in front of you is for a reason. The reason is that you're, in their eyes, are not worth having to deal with. You're looking at modern day serfdom, modern day Sodom and Gomorrah, where people are questioning their sexuality before they're questioning Big Pharma.
Man,
I totally
there's
don't
something
understand where we are.
Yeah, it was something that I seen on my Instagram. I wanted to show you. I thought I saved it, but I don't see. I don't see where I saved it at. I think we finally lost Marley. I don't know where he went.
I'm sure he'll join back in when he gets a minute.
What is that?
So just off the information that you've seen, let's get some final takes on just like the two topics that we've covered. And let's go ahead and get some final comments on the topics that we covered.
Yeah, because we talked about parenting and this terrible food that we are forced to eat.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Well, only comments we got though in here was he said, I don't care what Bill Gates wants. What was we talking about when for someone to say something about Bill Gates?
The food.
Because they said I'm not eating crickets.
That's the World Economic Forum. That's Klaus Schwab.
Huh.
That's the head of the Uniparty for the EU, the World Health Organization, and now America. Also Canada and certain other parts of the country that participate in this one world government.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to grow my own food and be separate from them.
Like a lot of people don't know that majority of all chain restaurants, let's start with the big three. You know who the big three are. If you want to extend it to 4, 5, and 6, that's fine as well. But they get all of their products from Bill Gates. That's why Bill Gates has bought up so much farmland so he can keep supplying major restaurants with his GMO products that you consume on a daily basis. I don't understand the ideology of a lot of us, and it's like you're willfully doing this to yourself.
Well, but you gotta understand too, we're not a loyal people. So understand, all it takes is for one time for somebody to cross us the wrong way, and we'll switch ships. So understand, somewhere along the lines, us as a people got crossed by Republicans. That's why we switched ships to the Democrats. The Democrats did something we loved, and the Republicans did something that we hated. So what do? We jumped ship, and we moved as a unit at that time. Whatever happened, somewhere that history needs to be researched to find out what happened in that span to make black people feel like that they need to be Democrats versus Republicans.
I know the answer to that.
I know the answer to that.
I know the answer to that. Go ahead, Bridge.
From what I understand is that the switch came because the Democrats came in and was like, hey, all the whipping and chaining and hanging will stop if you vote Democrat. You know, they gave them an option. If you want the hanging to stop, the lynching to stop, us beating and terrorizing y'all community, all you gotta do is vote Democrat and we'll stop.
Thank you. Thank you.
And understand. That's what I'm saying. Something pivotal happened. The Republicans wasn't trying to hear that shit. And the Democrats was like, okay, so we'll know.
Breaking up.
I know, and us not knowing what we were voting for, we gave up a bunch of rights because we didn't understand what we were voting for.
All you was voting for was to stop getting pillaged,
right?
Stop getting raped, stop getting tortured. That's all you seen. Because the two main incidents that happened, that was in 1968, and we talked about this, but who's the two murders in 1968? JFK and Martin Luther King.
And it goes back to even to.
Lamar, you breaking up?
But it goes.
Yeah, he's breaking in. He's going in and out.
Yeah, he is. But you understand what I'm saying, Eb?
Yeah.
Those are the two major things that happened. Just like you was talking to me, privately about the 1968 Civil Rights Act, which included Indians in it. You're absolutely right, because they knew first and foremost there were Aboriginal people that was not brought on slaves that already was here. They already knew that. So in 68, that's why they had to get rid of John F. Kennedy and they had to get rid of Martin Luther King, because those two entities together, along with Malcolm X on the militant side, would have bonded and created a wave within us that would never have been destroyed. You judge a tree by its fruit.
Yeah, and so I guess that's gonna be too small. I need to modify that. I'm gonna pull that up one day, man. I do have the Civil Rights Act of 1968, and the literature in it is kind of extraordinary. You know, I do wonder if people have actually read it or looked at it, because it is something that we've heard about. They talk about it every year. Come February, it's brought up, and so it's crazy. But has anybody
one thing they
read
bring
it,
up
looked
about
at
it? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, that was it. I wonder if anybody, actually picked it up and read it, because you heard just people talking about it. You heard people talking about Martin Luther King, them marching and for civil rights. But when you look up the act, what the Civil Rights Act, the bill was that was passed, it doesn't say nothing about what you think.
Not at all. That's why a majority of the people that bring it up, they always, just like I did to you, it's about Title 8 of the Civil Rights Act, which is fair housing, fair schooling, things of those nature, like common, desegregation. Because at that time, who was the president? Lyndon Baines Johnson. What is Lyndon Baines Johnson, a Democrat, known for saying? We'll have these niggers voting Democrat for the next 100 years. That's Lyndon Baines Johnson, a Democrat president. Let's not look at Robert Byrd, the senator from I think it was either Virginia or something like that. He was a Ku Klux Klan Grand Dragon. I mean, how often do you have to be spit in your face to understand that you're supporting the Klan?
Yeah, but it's crazy, man. It's a crazy world that we are living in. I'm just trying to make it a better place for my kids and my grandkids, because I'm going to be able to leave them with a source of income. You know, the next generation is all we can continue to plan for. We need to know your past, so you know where you need to me. You need to know where you come from in order to know where you're going. And so, with that being said, you know, thanks for tuning in to Bridge3Tv. Thanks for Straight Smoke for coming up here chopping it up with me. Marley Mar, you got to say in. You're a little bit in, but you was busy today. You told me that you was busy. And so we definitely gonna catch you up on the next time, man. And so any final words, Straight Smoke?
All I can say is do for yourself, do for your family, love who you love unconditionally, and always know family first.
Family first, you know. And so shouts out to my mom and dad, because without you, of course, I wouldn't be here. I love you, love everybody. Till next time, y'all take it easy.